beautiful day here in Abeokuta, the rock city of the state. Today we're back on Your Image, your public relations television program, the one that visualizes on development, the one that touches on growth of individuals, companies, and the like. And today, we first of all dedicate today's program to the life and time of Professor Lai Osho. He was a man that is highly regarded. Professor Lai Osho, about 7 years ago, lived a life of sacrifice, mentorship, knowledge sharing. He was a father of modern mass communication, a teacher of teachers, consultant, and publisher, a fourth foundation scholar at the University of now Abeokuta University, and of course a thoroughbred professional with an academic excellence and with wide-range scholarly experience and exposure in advertising, development communication, and journalism. Of course, 9 years ago, we made a PR program on television, and we celebrate Professor Lai Osho for a life well spent in lifting and supporting humanity. It is to the glory of God that he lived well, and of course, we that are his admirers, students, professional colleagues, we are celebrating him, we are not mourning him. He has lived a legacy worthy of emulation. That takes us to today's program, and still dedicating the program to Professor Lai Osho. We have youths and entrepreneurs in our midst, and we'll be looking at the topic empowering young agripreneur for a sustainable career. Of course, in Nigeria, agriculture is something that is very vital to the sustenance of the people, of the nation, and business. And I have Mr. Akinjole Olayinka, who is an agripreneur and agribusiness developer. You're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
And I also have Tayo Udinaki, is a big economist and agribusiness development manager. You are welcome.
Thank you for having me, sir.
Let's go on historically, and we have about 21.5% of youth who decide that we need to go into agriculture, and over 70% of Nigerians are into subsistence farming. And when you look at the estimate from Food Agriculture Organization, FAO, an agency of the United Nations, it estimated that 34.5% million farmers are smallholder farmers. And of course, agriculture is the largest sector contributor of 24% to the national GDP. Well, it also controls about 36% of Nigerian labor force. That is just giving you a tidbit of the impact of agriculture in Nigeria. Well, I'd like to go to Olayinka Akinjole. Why are youths finding it difficult, or why are they not interested in agriculture?
Okay, thank you, sir. So, youth are not interested in agriculture due to a lot of reasons. Agriculture has been made to seem like a dirty job. A lot of youths shy away from agriculture because they see agriculture as the type of business where you don't, before you get returns, before you start making profit, it takes a long time. And the risk involved in agriculture is higher than other sectors. So basically that is the major reason why a lot of youths are shying away from agriculture. The risk involved and the notion that agriculture is a dirty job, which it isn't.
But we learned that it is a sector that is so lucrative.
Yes, it is.
And that the youths, if they are properly engaged, there are some opportunities. Can you come up with some opportunities for young ones and the entrepreneurs?
Yes, so in agriculture, let's say poultry, for example, the value chain in poultry is enormous. You can either go into rearing of birds, you can go into processing of poultry birds, you can go into rearing of egg-laying birds, you can go into buying from, so the value chain is enormous. We have piggery also, you can go into rearing of pigs, and pigs are very fertile in the sense that a female pig can give birth to as much as 18, 15 piglets in just one farrow. So the value chain is highly enormous. Either you go into poultry, you go into piggery, you go into fishery, you go into any of the sectors. But the key thing about agriculture is going into it the right way. Because if you go into agriculture the right way, you won't make the mistakes that other people have made in that sector, and that's why a lot of people are shying away from it, because they don't go into it the right way.
Well, what has brought you into going to agriculture? You as an agri-economist.
All right, thank you, sir. I studied agri-economics in school as a department, but one of my major strengths and love, just passion for agriculture, is just I just noticed this like a very long time ago while I was still very little, that I just love, when I see my parents, I just love nature. My dad also loves agriculture, so maybe I got it from him, but the passion has just been there right from my childhood, and I said I must pursue this line.
Well, what do you consider as the opportunities for the nation when you look at agriculture in the whole scale?
Okay, the opportunities for the nation, like Mr. Yinka said, agriculture is a very lucrative business, a very lucrative business, and the government, I believe the government should put more resources into this sector, because it's one of the fields that helps the government to even reduce the unemployment rate in the country, because any farmer cannot do all the work by himself. He cannot do all the work by himself. It's an enabler. Like, let me just put it like that. Agri sector is an enabler. If I say I want to go into agri now, I will need ends, and as I bring more ends, there's an amount of people that is leaving the unemployment population. And that's one of the factors that helps the nation. Also, there's food security. The total population of people in Nigeria cannot still match up with the amount of food that is being produced. So there's still, in some places, there's still low food. There's scarcity of food. In some places, and there are times that the prices of some agricultural produce skyrocket because it is not much. It's just a law of demand and supply. When there's much demand and there's little supply, there's an inflation in price. So one of the reasons why the government should put more focus in the agricultural sector is that it also helps, aside from reducing the unemployment rate, it also brings reduces food scarcity. There's a food security in the nation. So amongst other points, there are many reasons, and even the foreign exchange. Agriculture is a very good place to when we get it right. Importation and exportation. We bring in many things. Into the country, and there are things that we can do here. There are many youths at hand that can work. That when we meet up with the standard of the foreign nation, is something we can export, and this is also going to bring this is a means of a foreign exchange for the nation, and the government will also benefit from this agricultural sector that we are talking about.
Thank you very much. Well, let's go to the real issue of empowering the young and the entrepreneurs in the nation. We know that agriculture cannot be handled by government alone. It's a partnership thing, and putting that into consideration, what do you think should be the impetus or the great enabler to enhance full participation of everyone in the agricultural business?
Yeah, thank you, sir. So, one of the stumbling blocks that most entrepreneurs, young people that want to go into farming face is funding, the issue of funding. So, because no matter the level of your agri business, you get to a point where you need to scale up your agricultural business. So, any young person that works into any commercial bank to say he needs finance, the interest rate would first cripple the business. So commercial banks is a no-go area for that's a big bank. Yes, they are big banks, but they are big bank, if we want to be truthful to ourselves, is just lip service, in the sense that before you are granted the minimum amount to scale up your farming operations, you have to go through a lot of processes, and agriculture needs the finance at the moment. Timely financial intervention. Exactly. So aside finance, training also is key. Young people need training, and I will emphasize it to most young people that come to me. I tell you, you might have all the funds, but without the adequate training, you will end up losing the funds. And agriculture is a sector where the risk involved is extremely high, and the profit is also high. So if you don't go into the business with adequate training, you end up getting your fingers burnt. So the government has to place emphasis on training and retraining young people that are desirous of going into the sector. And secondly, we need to also identify youth that are passionate about the sector. There are a lot of young people that love agriculture. They love agriculture for agriculture's sake. Government needs to create a system where you can identify those youths, create an enabling environment for them to try it, and before you know it, Nigeria become the China of the next China of the world.
Can you come up with the range of agri businesses that the young ones and the entrepreneurs can go into that could be flourishing?
Like I mentioned earlier, the range is enormous. You can go into crop production. You can go into livestock. If you're going to crop production, the segment is enormous. You can go into vegetable farming, you can go into cassava farming, you can go into maize farming, and if you're going into crop farming and into livestock farming, it's also enormous. You can go into poultry farming, piggery farming, fishery, snail and the likes. Let's say as a young person, I advise young people, let's say you are passionate about poultry farming, you identify the niche that you want to go into. Do you want to go into broiler production, layers production, cockerel production? Not a jack of all trades, no. I tell you to be specific, know what you have targets, know this is what you want to go into and do the best at that thing, at that sector. Let's say you want to go into producing eggs for laying. Understand the business, go for the adequate training, understanding where you're supposed to understudy, go for the right training, have your funds, meet with the right people in that sector, people that are in the sector and are flourishing, network with them, and then before you know it, you have your average business up and running.
Can you come up with a little bit of some of the training that you need to expose yourself to?
There are loads of training. There are loads of training schools. There are a lot of, because if you think knowledge is expensive, try ignorance. So if you think the training is going to be expensive, you think about the amount of money you would lose by not equipping yourself adequately. So there are a lot of training schools. There are a lot of training schools. There are a lot of training schools that you can go. You can also look for a flourishing farmer. Look for a farm that you know, okay, is a farm that you know you already established, and offer yourself a mentorship with the flourishing farmer. You can offer a mentorship, and you will get paid, and you are learning at the same time.
But there's an issue that we need to come up with. Youth of nowadays, and particularly these new startups, they tend to look for the money rather than to understudy the environment. And then at the end of the day, they get discouraged. So what do you have for them?
Okay, my advice for youths like me, most of us wants to start big. Most of us wants to start with 10 million, and we begin to look for it everywhere, and time will go and time will just catch up with you. That's some of the mistakes that youth of this generation makes, and it's not compulsory to start big. It's not important to start big. If you start big,
can you give us a practical way of starting?
Yes.
And then growing it to large scale.
Okay, now there are value chains in this business. It is not compulsory you start with rearing. It's not compulsory you start with rearing. If you want to acclimatize yourself with this sector, you can start with like maybe the people that are selling eggs. It's not compulsory you start the chicken and buy the everything and start laying eggs. You can begin to buy from the farm that is laying eggs and begin to retail. They are retailers. It's not compulsory you start from
that's
being
the business.
Yes.
Okay.
You can with as little profit as possible. Even the chicken broilers, it's not compulsory you begin to rear them from the day old to the point of sale. You can get as little as maybe 10, 20 with the money you have. There are people that they don't go to the farm or they don't start with the farm, but they can process. They are processors. There are people that they don't even need to rear or do any dirty thing at all, because people run from Agri because they say it's dirty. You don't need to do all this. There are people that just come to the farm and buy the chicken and store it in the cold room, and these are what people buy as frozen foods. As little as possible, as little capital as you have, if it's 10,000, if it's 20,000, just identify the particular place you want to focus on and start small. There are people that even do like barbecue. They can just get one chicken, two chickens, as little as that, buy other spices, and from there, as profit will begin to come small, you begin to save up, and you can start your own rearing by 10. You sell it, you get money to buy the next batch, maybe 20. Small like that, little, you begin to grow. You just see that your farm has reached 100 capacity. From 100, from there you go. So it's not compulsory you start big. It's not compulsory to go and borrow money. It is not advisable to want to go into farming and just go and borrow money. First start small, so that even if you make any small mistake, it will still be correctable. It will not affect a lot of things. But many people want to go big. You don't have adequate knowledge. You don't have adequate. You just see one money, whether borrowed or given, and you just go into the business, and you run back and you say your agri sector is not working. No, that's not how it's done.
Let's look at thank you very much. Let's look at the agricultural schemes and the like. Where is government focusing more on farm estates or agricultural, farm settlements and the like? And what is the focus?
Thank you, sir. So I believe government has realized now that agriculture is the future. Okay. Agriculture is the way. So I want to believe they know that when farms are in settlements, they are able to network easily. Whenever there is need for, when they're in an enclave, they can network amongst themselves and to connect with the natives,
and then grow them, educate them.
Exactly.
Give them the proper training. These extension programs can be extended to them. Yes.
So we have a lot in Ogun State, and I think more of that is needed in the nation at large,
so that we can grow
the food, because the food security is very important for the nation.
Well, there's this area that came to my mind. That's culture. What is that?
Okay, agriculture. I think that's rearing of snails. That's
Okay.
rearing of snails and snailry for markets, and there are a lot of advantages of agriculture. Agriculture basically is rearing of snails. So the snail itself is used for meat.
Okay.
The slime of the snail are used in cosmetic industry. Most of the slimes are used, the slime that the snails secrete is used.
These are the byproducts.
The byproducts, exactly.
Okay.
So they are in high demand in Europe, in America. The shells of the snail are also used to make feed ingredients. So agriculture is also a very profitable aspect of farming, and is one that needs very little capital to start and run. It needs, at the back of your house, you can just get a little place, you just raise your snails, and with your chicken leftovers, whenever you so far there's no salt in the food. Any salt-free food can be given to your snails, and before you know it, snails are highly prolific also. You see them laying, and before you know it, and agriculture needs little funds to start and run.
Something came to my mind. I said that when you have plantain farm, the ones you used to have in your compound, and mainly you just discover that there are so many snails that are roaming around, primarily in the rainy season.
Yes.
How do we develop the environment to become more productive?
Okay, so the first thing is to be able to create an environment for your snails. Create an environment for them. Like,
How do we create the environment?
okay, there are different types of things that you can use.
Okay.
So let's go for a cost-free method. Let's say you get tires. These used tires, and I want to believe it. Used tires. So when you stack up 2 or 3 used tires, you cover them, and but you make sure the tire should be close to the palm tree that you mentioned, close to the plantain tree. So the stacks of tires can be close to the tree to act as a shade for the snails, because snails they thrive in humid environment. So you just stack your tires there. When you pick the snails, the elder ones, you pick them, then you introduce them to the new habitat, and before you know it, they will start procreating, and before you know it.
It seems an interesting business.
It's very interesting.
Well, from the look of things, we will not be able to conclude on these issues we are discussing. We will have to extend it to another session. What's your advice for those who may be wishing to look at a particular type of business in agriculture and say, okay, you can start with this and then go bit by bit? Just a sentence.
My word for them is start small but think big. Start small but think big.
On your part,
My advice is that you get adequate mentorship. Don't start alone. Don't dabble into what you don't know. Make sure you connect with somebody that has passed through that same thing you are about to pass through, so that you will not make the same mistakes that the person has made. That is how we can become a better nation and a better person. So look for someone that is into it or has been into it, and seek advice and adequate training and mentorship before you go into it.
thank you very much. Viewers, it's been a short time, but what can we do? We will continue with this discussion next week, and of course, it seems it's an interesting area. Agriculture is the mainstay of the nation, and of course, let us try and go into farming. At your backyard, try and do something. I am doing something to grow my family. Do the same. Viewers, thank you for watching, and thank you for being our support. I'm still Abeokuta, your uncle. Bye.